guys want to know what pisses me off? You know, when you're trying to take a shit, you know, and you know, there's just like a really like sticky, heavy, you know, type of shit, you know, that kind of just like sticks to the toilet bowl, right? And when you're trying to, you know, like flush the shit, that is, when you're trying to flush it away, it just kind of refuses to go down, you know, the toilet bowl, yeah, as it should, you know, and then you kind of just have to like get anything that's in your bathroom, and you know, you just have to try and remove, you know, the shit from its, you know, from its perch, I guess you could call it, and you know, just, you know, get rid of it. But you know, I'm not talking about shit today. Really, that's not what this video is about. I'm going to be talking about something much more disgusting than shit. I'm going to be talking about malware and antiviruses and other softwares that pretend to not be malware. So, you know, I feel like this requires some kind of a lore, you know, some kind of background for you to fully understand, you know, fully what's going on here. And you know, I'm someone who, you know, for his entire life has kind of, you know, wanted to make YouTube videos, and yeah, that's been a hobby of mine since I've been a very small, you know, kid, basically. And you know, it's something that I personally am, you know, quite fond of doing. You know, so that's my hobby. You know, I make YouTube videos, and I do some other stuff too. But I feel like my main hobby is I make vids. I make YouTube videos. It's like my thing, I guess, and you know, that's what I do. But you know, for most of my life, I've been making videos on my phone, you know, rather than you know, what I should have been doing the whole time, which is using a PC. You know, but whatever. You know, I just didn't really have access to a good enough PC to make, you know, YouTube videos for most of my life. So you know, it is what it is. But you know, I got my new PC very recently. I've talked about this before, on some of my videos, some of my second channel videos, and you know, it's been a blast. I mean, I love the thing, but you know, there's a little problem, is that I have to, you know, get used to making YouTube videos in an entirely new type of way, and I've had to, you know, get back certain applications and certain programs which I had before but now don't have, you know, like a video downloader. If I want to make a, you know, YouTube video, it's very important to have a video downloader so I can, you know, have other, you know, videos playing. You know, if I'm trying to, you know, talk about like a movie or another guy's YouTube video or something, I'm going to need to have like background footage from, you know, whatever the fuck I'm talking about. You know, so that's something that I need to have in order to, you know, properly be able to make YouTube videos. So I went on a look. You know, I searched around, and I found this. I found JDownloader. Now this was recommended to me from this Reddit thread. I think it's this one in particular. But you know, this Reddit thread, it's quite suspicious. You know, so you know, again, it recommended me this this you know, video downloader, and it told me you know, use JDownloader 2, JDownloader, and they said if you're getting it from the official site, it's fine. And you know, go to the official site for a second. It looks like this, and that's not a great sign. But you know, I've gone on some sites that look like this and downloaded some shit, and it's usually been perfectly fine. But you know, you go down here, and the program is safe, but the installer can install adware if you get it from the wrong installer. Here's a direct link to the good ones. And you know, here's another one. This might have actually been a different site. Anyways, it's open source, safe, but please get it from the official website. And I go here, and it's, you know, it's this one again. Totally safe, like others have mentioned. What you download with it is another story. I'll get to that. Use the ad-free download. I go here. Again, it's this again. They're all saying kind of the same thing. They're all directly linking it, you know, to the website where I should be getting it from, you know, and saying that I you know, could run into some issues, but I just need to download it from this specific version that they are, you know, recommending me have. So let's go to the Wikipedia here. You know, here's a little little spoiler here. Here's from the Wikipedia page. Source from I don't know whatever the fuck this is. During mid-2012, there were complaints that JDownloader's installer added adware without the user's consent. So, that's kind of what I got myself into here. Go on here. It downloaded a bunch of other stuff onto my computer. It downloaded this AVG, this antivirus thing, alongside a bunch of other crap, a bunch of other shit that I don't want. Go on Wikipedia. Again, controversies. A lot of controversy here. Go on. Let's see what these Redditors have to say. I think AVG is from the same company as Avast. I believe AVG and Avast are the same thing. I don't know what the fuck Avast is. This guy says it's crap. AVG and Avast are both crap. So the Redditors, do not like it. r/antivirus. Crap will slow down your PC. So I guess generally this program isn't very well liked either. Let's go to this. This is another program that I downloaded onto my computer without my consent. Let's go down to see also. The see also sign section literally just sends you to the Wikipedia page for malware. So I think you're getting the picture here. Is that I downloaded some real sussy type of material. That was a bad way to phrase it. I downloaded some malware onto my computer, and I did not have a fun time trying to get rid of the malware. Having malware on your computer at all is not a fun experience. But I had my reservations on going onto the website and trying to get rid of it basically. Oh well, not getting rid of it, downloading it. Mix my words up there. When I was downloading the website, I had my reservations. I was like, is this safe, or am I gonna download a virus? But I did it. I decided to trust Reddit at face value, and I feel like now I've learned something very special, a very, very important lesson, which is never trust Reddit at face value. Do your research, all right, before trusting the Redditors. Don't believe the Redditors. That was a big mistake. Don't trust the Redditors. So I downloaded the website. I went against my gut. Big mistake. I went against my gut, and I downloaded this product, and it basically instantly downloaded a bunch of other shit onto my program. On my computer. Everything else that I mentioned just now was downloaded onto my computer, and I had to basically go through it all and have to delete all of it, and it was not a fun experience having to delete all this basically malware. Not basically malware. Again, ask people and they will say that this program, this service is basically malware disguised as a antivirus, and that's actually a very common thing for viruses to do, is to disguise itself as an antivirus. That's like a malware 101, maybe, almost. I don't fucking know, dude. But I went against my better judgment, and I downloaded some not great programs. At first I was I was pissing my pants. I thought I was cooked. Frankly, I thought I was cooked, and I I had to deal with the slight, mild existential terror of the idea of me basically permanently losing the computer that I literally just bought just later or earlier that month. This is supposed to be like a chimney. Is this shit too big? Anyways, I thought I was sweating bullets basically. I was not having a good time, frankly. And I had to look for all these, YouTube videos like, how do I delete malware? How do I delete adware? I was frantic. Again, I thought I was sweating bullets. Things were not going well. For Emo Slur here, and I had some problems even finding out how to delete the malware. Because here's the thing: if you haven't really looked through anything relating to tech or like tech support on YouTube, there's a little bit of a problem, and there's a problem that's plaguing any tech support type YouTube thing, which is Indians. Indian people. I mean, I don't mean for that to sound demeaning, but it's all just like an Indian person. You go on, you look, you try and find some advice to get rid of a virus, and it's like, oh, so what to do? You go to System 33 or some shit like that, and it's like, honestly, I refuse to listen, to an Indian person telling me how to use a computer. I won't let them. The chimney looks fine. I refuse to let an Indian person let me explain to me how to use a computer. I refuse to let them. Honestly, I won't let them talk down to me. Okay. So that was the hard part. That was the hard part. Was finding someone someone who wasn't Indian to tell me how to use this program to do this to fix my shit because again I was not in a preferable situation, and again this was the same problem I had when I was trying to download a video downloader. Anyways, again literally all of them that I heard were all Indians. It's crazy how they have taken over the tech support field. Mutahar, some ordinary gamers, he's fine. He gets to say. All right. He's kind of a centrist. He's kind of he's kind of cucked, honestly. But he's all right. He's all right. He's all right. He's the only one. He's the only tech savvy Indian who gets to stay on the internet if I take power. If I do an Elon Musk, and I just take over whatever internet platform I choose and I just ruin it, just completely destroy it. Wait, no, I'm not. Why am I doing this? If that's what I choose to do, what I'm doing instantly is I'm banning every tech support Indian except for Mutahar, some ordinary gamers. He's the only one that gets to stay. He's the only one that gets to stay. All right, but I was having some trouble finding a tech support option that really satisfied what I wanted, so to speak, and it was a little difficult finding that, but I did find some old guy, and he basically just told me to go to the task manager basically, and just delete shit from here, or go to some other tech thing like that, or to delete all this shit. And again, it took me maybe 30 minutes, or 40 minutes, somewhere around half an hour to an hour maybe, to just get all this shit off, because again this malware, it did not want to be deleted. It was refusing to let itself be deleted from my computer, which was really not a great feeling experience. the malware just refusing to let me be free, frankly, and it's not fun. But if I went through the correct hoops, the malware did basically let itself be deleted, which is honestly a little bit surprising. I mean, what malware just lets you delete it? It reminds me of that meme, Albanian malware or some shit, where it reminds me of that. They just let me do it. They just let me delete the malware. I mean, it was being kind of fussy about it, but I mean, in the end, it basically just let me get rid of the malware. And I'm honestly surprised that it let me do that at all. I mean, I guess it's not technically, it's not like black hat malware. It's not like it's stealing my shit, or forcing me to give it money to use my files or whatever. I'm not having to give it 15 Bitcoin to see all the like anime porn on my computer or whatever. Not that I have that, but you know, like theoretically speaking, you know, if I was to get WannaCry, if I was to get like patented North Korean malware on my computer, you know, and I had to like pay them a ransom to be allowed to continue using it, you know, that would be that would be kind of like what would happen, because obviously in that timeline, you know what I mean. You guys know what I mean, and you know. So yeah, that was my malware experience.